I want you to write down this definition: reparenting. Reparenting is the act of giving yourself the love you always needed, but you never received. Now, this is what completes that C. And when that C starts to be more complete and become a circle or become an O, you start to attract healthy, true love and not incomplete love, which represents that incomplete C or that incomplete cycle. Now, when it comes to, it's Father's Day, and or it's coming up to Father's Day, and this episode will probably be released in and around there somewhere. I know, especially in North America, a lot of women have wounded relationships with their fathers. And so, therefore, they have wounded relationships with their partners because they've never really had the idea of a healthy, loving male, a healthy, loving person show up for them. So, the first thing to do, and you may not even have access to your father. A lot of, people may be distanced from their fathers may pass away. This doesn't mean you can't heal, and that doesn't mean therefore you're doomed to not being able to heal the relationships with your partners. That's not true at all. It means that you have to be a little more creative and create the identity of a father figure within you meeting those needs. This is what I had to do with my wounds with my mother, because growing up, I had a mother who was a very, let's call it a survival mother, a provider mother. She was someone who always was there to meet the physical needs I had of survival, but a lot of the emotional needs, which tend to stem from the mother, were unmet. The needs of affection, nurturing, care. She was more a provider than a nurturer, right? And so growing up into my relationships, I craved this so strongly from other women. I craved the sense of a woman who would touch me, hold me, love me so much that but at the same time, my nervous system was not used to it. So I attracted women who just couldn't show up for me. Maybe, and this is how amazing the ego is and the brain is, that it wasn't just women who emotionally couldn't show up for me. It was also women who either had a priority, lived somewhere else, long distance, blah, 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 all of which led to one common theme of women who couldn't love me and show up for me. And this is the similarity between you, if you're listening and you have a wounded relationship with men, and me, who had a wounded relationship with women, is that incomplete cycle of that C is what sabotaged me. And so even when I kept trying to achieve, and I wrote down, I want to have a beautiful relationship. I even wrote down in my journal, trying to project what kind of beautiful relationship I wanted. And yet the kind of relationship I got was not the same. And I know if you're listening until this point, I know you're feeling similarly that way. So let me help you with giving you another journaling prompt, another prompt that could help you and support you. I want you to write down, what are my real needs in my relationship or in a relationship? Now, as you write it down, you will write down a lot of things like, I want them to show up for me. I want them to respond in time. I want you to do that. All of those, again, are projections of the wounded C. Those are clingy, attachy type things that you put in there because you haven't experienced that kind of love. So your mind and your ego are overcompensating. Tough news, I know, but you need to hear it to move on. So instead, what you need to write down is, what are my real authentic needs? And as a woman, you may find, if you completely open up your heart, even if as a man, you would be wanting consistency, stability, safety, commitment. Now, safety doesn't mean a big, tough man. Safety means a man who makes you feel like you're a queen, like you will never be touched emotionally or physically or whatever, and you never have to go out and fend for the household and protect it, because that will be taken care of financially. That'll be taken care of, even emotionally, right? And I say it emotionally because the good example of a healthy man and healthy woman, I remember this story, or I've seen it, is even the small things that you do when a partner is walking with you and they make you walk on the inside of a road, or if someone even makes a slightly lewd comment towards you, and your partner doesn't need to punch him, kick him, bully him, but just draw a boundary there. All of those show a woman that they're really, really taken care of. And the other thing that shows a woman that they're really noticed and they're valuable, even the smallest things like opening the door, flowers, giving them a day off, rest, taking care of, buying them a gift or something they've been mentioning before they want. All of these small things make a woman feel inside like she's a queen and that she's a loved little girl at the same time. So when you're thinking of your needs, think about that little girl inside you and the needs that are still missing for her. And when you're able to write down, the list of these needs, This is the next part, which is challenging, but this is the part that I do and we specialize in my program. The part that the better you get at, the more whole your life will always feel. How can I learn to meet these needs for myself right now? Now, again, when you think about that and we write it, you may think that this will make you hyper independent. And it is true. A lot of people, when they start to meet their needs, they get so good at meeting their needs. Now they cut off from being vulnerable and letting somebody else support them and meet their needs. But then again, they're also ignoring some other needs of being vulnerable, being loved, being taken care of. And someone asked me this question and said, hey, Yats, how do I get back to dating again? How do I make myself ready to date again? Because I've been so hurt that from the hurt, I blocked off my heart. From blocking off my heart, I had to learn to do some healing, which means overprotecting my heart. From overprotecting my heart, I've got to this person who I'm hyper independent. And I'm finally taking care of myself, but I'm scared to allow someone to take care of me again. That means, in truth, you're not fully loving yourself, because if you fully loved yourself, you know that you're not going to attract someone to sabotage you again. That you will spot the signs of someone who can't show up for you. That you'll recognize someone who doesn't meet your needs before jumping into that whole story and feeling invalidated all over again. You'll build more self-trust. You'll feel more self-reliant and all these things. And therefore, you will feel more connected to somebody else. And in that process, you will realize that it's not just safe to start loving again. You're excited to start loving again. But this time, when you start loving again, you're loving from a different perspective. So, coming to the end of this whole discussion that we've had, when we start to heal the idea of the relationship we had with the first male or female people in our lives, our parent figures, by learning to complete some of the cycles within ourselves, subconsciously our mind repairs the relationship with that we're going to have with other men. It creates better relationships, higher standards. You draw boundaries unconsciously. You settle for red flags much less. In fact, you spot them much sooner. Energetically, when you go on dates, you don't attract the same kind of people or self-obsessed douchebags or the guys who pull away and treat you like shit, or the push and pull, because your nervous system now has relearned the idea of healthy love. And my friends, that is what you truly deserve in your life. The better you can train yourself with the idea of healthy love, the better your nervous system will unconsciously seek it in the world around you. I love you very much, and I hope you stay tuned to the next episode of the podcast, because it's also going to be really powerful and interesting. Share this with everybody else you think needs to listen to it. Are you hurting from shame, loneliness, toxic relationships? Do you want to break that pattern and create a beautiful, loving life for yourself? Well, my name is Yats, and I'm an inner work and relationship guru. And I have helped thousands of women and men from all around the world learn to become their best selves and have the lives that they truly want and desire. This channel was designed for you to be able to heal those old wounds, be able to become and elevate your best self, and to you to love your life really that you have right now. And I offer an 8-week program called the GAUNTLET, which takes you on this amazing journey of healing those wounds. And I also offer in-person live retreats all around the world where you can access that same level of healing and empowerment. I want you to do something for you today. I want you to watch some of these videos. And if these videos hit close to home, they resonate with you and they're giving you some inspiration, then I want you to subscribe and share it with somebody else who needs it. These videos aren't just for someone to consume. They're meant to inspire people to take action. And if you want to take action in your own life, jump in the comments, watch the videos, send me a DM at the Inner Yats on Instagram, and I'll see you in the next video.